the wireless network passwords. So far, we have been gathering information related with this process. Now, we are actually ready to get this done. Now, we have to talk about the encryption processes, the encryption methods, and also what we're going to do to break this encryption. So basically, we are using 2 or 3 kinds of encryption in the wireless networks. First of all, there is WEP, and also there is WPA and WPA2. So these are all encryptions. So we encrypt the packets that is being transmitted between the client and the router, between the client and the server. And since the router knows the password, and since the stations that are connected to that router know the password, then it's very easy to break them. However, if we are not connected to that network, if we don't know the password, as we have seen previously in the Wireshark, the packets do not mean anything to us. It will be encrypted. So in order to break that encryption, we need to understand how to break the WEP and WPA and WPA2 encryptions as well. So we're going to start with the WEP, which is, maybe you can pronounce this as WEP as well. So this is not commonly used right now because it's very insecure, okay? There is like a very major vulnerability. You can break it in minutes, okay? However, it's very hard to break the WPA. So mainly people choose to use WPA right now. It's the way to go. And as you might remember, we have seen this when we gathered information with the AeroDump NG. However, we need to know how to crack WEP as well. It's still in use. You can find it on somewhere around. I have seen WEP is being used in Asia, in some eastern part of Europe still. And also there's a chance that you can see this in kind of examinations as well. So we're going to talk about WEP, but first of all, I'm going to show you something. So this is my dashboard for my home router, okay? So all I have to do to get this, I open the browser and I have typed 192.168.1.1. So it should be the same for you, okay? It depends on the situation, of course. And if you don't know how to get into your administrator account on your router, on your home router, and I believe they won't let you connect to your administrator account on your company router, but you can obviously connect it in your home router. If you don't know how to do that, you have to call your ISP, the internet provider, and ask them. So they will probably say to you, go to 192.168.1.1 or 01, and you will see the administrator dashboard. So this should be the IP address of your router. And over here, it will ask you for the username and password. So in my case, I know the username and password. Username is admin, and it's basically admin most of the time, but password changes from internet provider to internet provider. So if you don't know how to access your administrator account, please call your internet provider and ask them, I want to get into my administrator dashboard for my router, and they will give you that information. So why I'm doing this? Because I want to go into the settings of my router and change the encryption from WPA to the WEP. And in fact, I actually did that already, but I want to show you how it's done. And by the way, the look of this dashboard, of course, changes from internet provider to internet provider and from a brand of the router to another brand. So far, it seems that I'm using Huawei, and it seems like this, but it can be different for you. So if you log in to your administrator dashboard, of course, this can look very different for you, but you will see the basic settings or basic information about your router, like your public IP address. So you shouldn't share your public IP address with people. So that's why I'm pixelating mine, so you cannot see mine, okay? So it's very easy to actually share your local IP addresses, ones that starting with 192.168 or 10.02 like in that network. There is no harm in that, but it's a confidential data when it comes to your public IP address. I suggest you don't share with anyone else. So in my case, I have to go to home network and find the wireless LAN settings. Okay, so these menus, these settings, these options can be different for you. But if you call your internet provider and ask them, how can I change my encryption from WPA to WEP? So because I'm making some tests, they will explain it to you. Okay, there is no way for me to tell this for every brand in the whole world. So in my case, I have the WLAN encryption over here. And by the way, that's where I have changed my SSID. As you can see, it's Academy Club right now. It used to be something else before, and I've changed it from here. Of course, you can do this as well. And in the security mode, as you can see, I have the WPA and also WEP. So I have changed this to be WEP because that's what we're going to work on right now. And since I have changed this, all I gotta do is just select the other options if I need to and just hit save. And I believe you can see the password or the key or anything you may call it over here. Let me show you my password right now. So it's A1B2C because it's very short, because it should be short because I have 64-bit encryption key length over here. So it doesn't let me go beyond that. So as you can see, it will be very easy to break this, and it's very short. And that's it. That's all you gotta do to change to the WEP. If you want, you can use the same password as I am, but if you don't want, you can just give a random password because I will show you how to crack it in the next lecture. And by the way, some of the internet providers doesn't even let you change this to WEP. If you're in that position, don't worry about it. You can just see the next lecture and take notes and come back to the real life in the WPA lectures. But I'm going to do that, and I have to show you how to break the WEP so that you can understand what's going on. So as you can see, it says that WEP is not recommended over here.